Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News First at 4 starts now.
First at 4, Exact Track 40 radar previews an uncomfortable evening that will include rain, wind, even some snow showers for some of you. Baseball fans feeling the effects. Tonight's game at Comerica Park is postponed. Tigers won't be able to play the Cleveland Guardians because of the conditions that definitely could get some very uncomfortable. Team is hoping to play that doubleheader tomorrow. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Karen Drew, along with meteorologist Kim Adams. What a change.
I know, right? Welcome back.
Yeah, you know, I'm just going to act like it's summer, so I'm going to wear the neon,
see,
right?
Yes.
And you can recognize what we're really going through.
Yeah, that's when the meteorologist wears a turtleneck, you know, in spring that it's cold outside.
It's
yeah,
a mess.
It's the wind, it's the rain, but we do have some hope in this future forecast that I'll show you coming up. But right now, let's talk about the rain, the sleet, and the snow, because it is coming down in some spots. The pink that you see here indicating, for the most part, sleet, a little wet snow mixed in Berkeley, Farmington Hills, Livonia, Garden City, and Inkster, and then mostly rain in Dearborn, Melvindale, and in East Course. You go up to West Bloomfield and you get a little bit of light snow there mixed in with the rain as well. Again, the east side mostly seeing that mix, but if you go into northern parts of Oakland and Macomb counties, it does change over to some wet snow in Romeo and in Richmond. Pretty much when it hits your windshield, it could be anything at this point, as we have seen it all throughout the day. Now, it is going to start to wind down overnight tonight. We might have a lingering flake or two tomorrow, but otherwise should be dry. It's cold, though. 40 at City Airport, upper 30s at Metro. Yes, over the weekend, we were in the 80s. Warms up a little bit tomorrow. We're back into the upper 40s, but we're not done there. Wait until you see the future forecast. It does include some warmer weather in it, and I'll have that for you coming up.
All right, thank you, Kim. Our other top story this afternoon, the city of Detroit is really scrambling right now to deal with an outburst of downtown violence and also trying to protect its young people. Police promised to enforce a citywide curfew this weekend, so what's next? The mayor says downtown Detroit should be a destination for everyone, but this weekend there were 5 shootings in Greektown, one on the Riverwalk. Police say suspects have been arrested in every case. None of the suspects were juveniles, but Chief James White says he wants to keep everyone safe, especially kids who should not be downtown unsupervised. The chief says there will be an increased emphasis on crowd management downtown. Officers will be cracking down on violations of disorderly conduct, open containers of alcohol, and will enforce noise ordinances as well. Any vehicles that are illegally parked will be moved. The chief says parents will also be held responsible for curfew violators left downtown unsupervised. The chief explained what he's trying to avoid.
We're focusing on, if you're dropping 20 kids off, 15 kids off outside of curfew or close to curfew, and there's no parental supervision. If you want them to enjoy the downtown, the Greektown area, mom and dad, adult guardian, come along with them. That's perfectly fine. But when we got 10 or 15 kids that are together, they're subject to being accosted. They're subject to finding themselves in problems as well when you don't have that adult oversight.
Local 4's Will Jones was at that news conference. He's getting more reaction from parents, also some youth organizations. So our coverage continues on Local 4 News at 5. New at 4 on your Monday afternoon, we do have word of charges in the case of 4 people shot on Detroit's west side. We're learning the violence was over a mistaken food delivery. Prosecutors have charged 32-year-old Dion Ray Thomas of Detroit in the burst of gunfire that broke out on Penrod Street back on April 13th. Investigators say a food order was mistakenly delivered to the home of a 36-year-old woman. Well, when Thomas confronted the victims, a verbal altercation escalated. The 4 people injured included 2 14-year-olds. Thomas is now being held on $500,000 bond. Now in Ann Arbor, a man has been officially charged with the murder of community leader Jude Walton. Ricky McCain is charged with murder, criminal sexual assault, and home invasion. Walton's body was found in her home last Thursday. The back door of her home was broken into. Police arrested McCain in just 48 hours, telling the court that he could be seen entering Walton's home on a nearby security camera. McCain is being held without bond tonight. Prosecutors are promising a quick investigation and also asking for patience in the shooting of a black teenager who rang the wrong doorbell while trying to pick up his younger siblings. This happened in Kansas City, Missouri. Kimberly Gill joins us now to talk about the investigation. Kim.
Karen, good afternoon. Prosecutors say that investigation will include questions about whether the shooting might be racially motivated. Officials say they understand the anger the shooting has sparked, but promise an objective and impartial process. You may have heard about the shooting over the weekend. 16-year-old Ralph Yarl was asked to pick up his siblings at a certain address, but went to the wrong home. Police say the 80-year-old white homeowner fired a gun at the teenager, hitting him in the head and arm. The teenager has been listed in stable condition. His aunt says the man in the home shot her nephew twice, once when the teenager was already on the ground. In spite of being wounded, she says he had to run to 3 different homes in the neighborhood before someone helped him. Civil rights attorney Ben Crump is now working for Yarl's family and says the teen was looking forward to his future.
He was a musician. He was an honor roll student. He had dreams of going to Texas A&M University. And then for simply ringing a doorbell and being profiled, he is shot in the head.
Well, right now, investigators say it does not appear the shooting was racially motivated, but information is still being gathered. They also say Missouri's Stand Your Ground law will be considered as they make a charging decision.
I know they're investigating, so do we know much more about the homeowner?
Well, not so much. He was taken into custody Thursday, placed on a 24-hour hold, but has been released pending further investigation. So, Karen, we haven't heard his side of the story yet. We're, of course, waiting for that. As we get more information and learn more, we'll, of course, bring it to you.
All right. Appreciate it. Thanks,
Sure.
Kim. Well, members of Congress, including Republican Senator Mitch McConnell, are getting back to work after their spring recess. You may remember McConnell was hurt in a fall a while back and spent several weeks recovering. Lawmakers faced some big issues, including the debate over what to do about raising the country's debt ceiling. Republicans are thinking about passing their own plan in the House, along with spending cuts to force President Biden to the negotiating table. Some experts estimate the Treasury will run out of borrowing room by mid-August. The pay gap between husbands and wives may be closing for some couples, but a new survey shows the housework divide, it's still going strong. It found even women who make more money than their husbands still put in more hours on chores and childcare. Local 4's Priya Mann takes a closer look at the numbers and what they mean for couples. Priya?
Well, Karen, consider this. 50 years ago, more than 80% of men were the primary breadwinners. That number has since plummeted as more women entered the workforce. But when you look at the division of household work or childcare, well, the stats resemble closer to what we saw 50 years ago and don't represent the number of women who are in the workforce today. Take a listen.
That's exactly what I've seen over the years.
Dr. Rose Moten is a clinical psychologist and couples therapist and says the findings of a recent Pew Research study line up with what she's seeing. In 29% of heterosexual marriages today, women and men earn about the same at roughly $60 grand each. But husbands spend 3.5 hours more per week on leisure activities than their wives. And wives spend about 2 hours more per week on caregiving and 2.5 hours more on housework.
I don't think you have a choice. The rubber band just stretches. You just have to, fit your life around the circumstances.
How do you keep from snapping?
I don't know.
My husband does all the outside stuff. Like, I don't mow grass.
But you're here getting groceries.
But I am here doing groceries.
Men are now taking on more than they did, say, 20 years ago. 50 years ago, of course, but the division is still there and the inequity is still there, especially for women.
The Pew study found that in 55% of opposite-sex marriages, men are the primary or sole breadwinners, compared to 16% of marriages where the wives out-earn their husbands.
Even though we see this gap closing with salaries and the income that is being earned, there's still unfortunately some expectations that women should still be able to handle all of those things that the women of the 50s were able to handle when they did not work 40, 50, 60 hours outside of the household.
When you factor in race, the study found black women are significantly more likely than other women to be the primary breadwinner. 26% of black women earn more, compared to 17% of white women and 13% of Hispanic women.
Personally, in my friend group, this is a reality. I'm a black woman. I'm a clinical psychologist. The majority of my clientele are women, and so this is something that is real and it's talked about very often, and these are conversations we cannot be afraid to have with our partners.
And Dr. Moten says communication is key. Have those difficult conversations. Talk about your expectations. Talk about what would you do if things change, if one spouse loses a job, if another has more interest in childcare, how you can divide up some of that household labor. Some good advice to follow there. Reporting live tonight, I'm Priya Mann, Local 4.
Important conversations to be had, most definitely. Thank you, Priya. Well, let's call it a legal cliffhanger. A Delaware judge pushed pause on a $1 billion defamation suit against Fox News. Why some people wonder if the trial will ever happen. Also ahead, floating cocaine captured. The story behind this discovery at sea. And later, celebrating the Ford Mustang. The iconic model is so close to a big milestone, and there's evidence it's still going strong. Stay with us.